This rank was the bane of my childhood existence. If you are like me, you probably wanted to get the highest possible score on the high scores when you were a kid. I spent hours trying to get the elusive Archangel rank without having any knowledge about how to achieve it. It wasn't until I beat the easiest map in the game, Key to Victory, that I unlocked the secrets of the highest high score rank. You have to win fast, and you have to get the Grail. It's not very complicated in other words, but not necessarily all that easy. I have cracked the code for you though. Let me show you how it can be done. It has to be noted, this is not Horn of the Abyss, but the complete version. Firstly, you gotta pick the correct town and the correct hero for this. There are probably many good options, like conflicts with Luna or CL, but in my mind, the best early game aggression hero is SoulSilver from Tower. Both for the chain lightning, of course, but also because of the large amount of master gremlins you can get early from the Tower faction. This combination makes most fights in this scenario quite easy. Key to Victory is an easy difficulty map. It's small and your opponent starts without a fort built, making it a cakewalk to beat. There are 2 Keymasters tents on the map, opening 2 different border guards on 2 different paths to blue. I'm going for the red tent to open the red border guard in the overworld. The red tent is underground, quite far away from my starting spot. The Grail is usually in this zone marked on the map, but if you watched my previous video, you know this game has different starting seeds which can be manipulated. This means that if I hit a specific seed, all neutral enemies will be the same creatures, the resources will be the same type and amount, but more importantly, the Grail will be in the same spot. This lets me just absolutely speedrun through this map. Alright, so I pick SoulSilver and the gold starting bonus, making sure the difficulty is set to 200%. I want blue to also be tower, as then I can hit the seed I'm looking for. Having this in order, I enter the fight against the infernal troglodytes, then reset twice to hit my seed. I know this seed is correct based on the fact that I see Astral in the tavern, and the resources to the left of my town include 2 gold piles, which lets me get enough gold to recruit Astral on day 1. I then send Astral to pick up the chest to the right of my town, netting me enough gold to upgrade the workshop on day 1 as well, and then upgrading every gremlin to master gremlins on day 2. On day 2, I upgrade all gremlins, recruit all the master gremlins, and as many stone gargoyles as I can afford, leaving the stone golems in town. They will just slow me down. SoulSilver gets this massive day 2 army from Astral and heads on westward straight for the subterranean gate. Astral follows behind like a good boy. Day 3, SoulSilver picks up +1 defense, which, looking back, is probably unnecessary, and engages the whites guarding the gate. This fight is fairly straightforward. Split the gargoyles into 1 stacks in order to protect the master gremlins and hit the whites with the gremlins for massive damage. If my gremlin stack was just a little bit bigger, this fight would be over a bit sooner, but I'm in no rush, real life time wise at least. Fight done, quick and easy, and SoulSilver goes underground. Astral still follows. Day 4. SoulSilver takes on the harpies underground, using the exact same tactic as against the whites. Let the master gremlins hit the harpies from range, while the gargoyles form a barrier in front of them. Everyone in the history of Heroes 3 has used this tactic a million times. A couple of gargoyles are unfortunately sacrificed, but this isn't a lossless challenge, thankfully, so who cares? SoulSilver then turns around. It's Astral's job to visit the Keymaster's tent. Day 5, SoulSilver sets his sights on blue, while Astral picks up another chest, which lets me recruit another hero. It doesn't really matter who I recruit, as he only has 1 job, which is to dig up the Grail. So, Aiden it is. Day 6, SoulSilver engages some rogues. Same tactic again, protect the master gremlins and let them light up the rogues. One of the rogue stacks gets a morale, which actually speeds up the fight a bit. Both rogue stacks are killed in 1 hit, and I still haven't used my 1 use of Chain Lightning. I'm saving it for a potential difficult hero fight against blue. There is still some randomness to this, as the starting hero of blue is obviously random. Sometimes they get spellcasters as a second hero, so saving the chain lightning can be valuable. Aiden ends his turn on this specific spot for a good reason. Also, can't forget Astral and visiting the Keymaster's tent. Day 7. Aiden digs, and what do you know? The Grail. How lucky. Obviously, I have this seed mapped out in order to know where the Grail is. As I mentioned in the beginning, the Grail will always be in the same spot on the same seed. SoulSilver just continues on as if nothing happened, passing the border guard and seeing 2 blue heroes. Day 8, SoulSilver just trucks on, taking on blue. Aiden is first up, having the massive army of 1 stone gargoyle. This should be fairly easy. Unfortunately, she has lightning bolt, killing a bunch of my gremlins, but still, the gargoyle is taken out in 1 hit. Obviously easy win. And the last fight is up. Neela is the last woman standing. Her army is also quite small, and I already know Auto Combat 1, so I'm not exactly worried. Finally, I get to use Chain Lightning. Woohoo! I take out most of her army, and one of my own gargoyles, before taking her gremlins out in 2 shots. Yay! So that's it. Key to victory done in 8 days. Final score of 496, and this is quite a decent Archangel score. There is some margin for error here when it comes to days to complete in order to still get the 496 score. But you might be thinking, you didn't build the Grail? How did you still get the Grail bonus? Apparently, you don't need to build it, only find it. I learned something new too when seeing this for the first time. Is the perfect 500 score achievable? Well, probably not. Not on Key to Victory at least. The score formula on the Heroes 3 wiki, which looks like this, seems to not allow it. Plotting my stats from this run through Key to Victory into Wolfram Alpha, we can see that my base score was 247.43. It seems like the game rounds up no matter what, which means I would need to beat the scenario in 3 days to get the 498 score, and beat it in 1 day and needing 7 towns to get a 500 score, or some other insane combination of days to complete and towns needed. Probably not possible, in other words, unless you make your own custom map with some very specific conditions. Anyway, I'm still happy. It seems like the key to Archangel score is Key to Victory, and it's nice to have this unlocked. If you know any other, or better, methods of getting the Archangel rank, feel free to share in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would really appreciate a like, comment, or a subscription. I'll see you again soon, and there's more to come in the future.